This ancient scripture has been banned and suppressed for centuries, but why? Get ready to be amazed as we reveal the shocking truth behind its exclusion from the Bible. In today's video, we'll uncover the mysteries surrounding one of the world's most controversial texts, the Book of Enoch. So stay tuned till the end of this video. Controversial teachings. The Book of Enoch is a non-canonical text that was once widely considered part of the biblical canon, but was eventually excluded and banned. One of the main reasons for its exclusion is its controversial teachings, which were seen as at odds with the teachings of the mainstream Jewish and Christian communities. The most controversial aspect of the Book of Enoch is its teachings on the role of angels and their fall from grace. In contrast to traditional Jewish and Christian beliefs, which viewed angels as purely spiritual beings, the Book of Enoch portrayed them as having taken on physical form and having relationships with humans. This idea was seen as heretical by the early church and contributed to the exclusion of the Book of Enoch from the canon of the Bible. Another controversial aspect of the Book of Enoch is its association with Gnosticism. The Book of Enoch contains teachings similar to Gnostic beliefs, including the idea that humans can attain secret knowledge that will lead to their ultimate salvation. The early church saw this idea as heretical, which emphasized faith and obedience over knowledge and understanding. Despite its controversial teachings, the Book of Enoch continues to be studied and revered by some sects of Christianity and Judaism. In recent years, interest in the text has been renewed due to its historical significance and association with the ancient world's more significant spiritual and mystical traditions. The Book of Enoch was an ancient text influenced by Gnostic thought and beliefs. Gnosticism was a religious movement that emerged in the early Christian era and held that knowledge, or gnosis, was the key to salvation. Gnostic influence. This belief is reflected in the Book of Enoch, which strongly emphasizes hidden knowledge and the importance of understanding the mysteries of the universe. According to Gnostic beliefs, the material world was seen as an inferior creation created by an imperfect being known as the demiurge. In contrast, the spiritual world was seen as a superior creation made by the true God. The Gnostics believed that this material world was a trap, and that the goal of the spiritual seeker was to escape this world and return to the spiritual realm. This belief is reflected in the Book of Enoch, which portrays the fallen angels as having taught humans forbidden knowledge and corrupting the world with their teachings. The text suggests that this knowledge was meant to be kept hidden, and that its revelation led to the world's corruption and the Nephilim's creation. The Gnostic influence on the Book of Enoch can also be seen in its portrayal of the world's end. In Gnostic thought, the end of the world was seen as a liberation, a release from the trap of the material world. This belief is reflected in the Book of Enoch, which portrays the end of the world as a time of judgment, in which the bad will be punished and the righteous will be rewarded. Besides Gnostic influences, the Book of Enoch also reflects Jewish apocalyptic thought, which held that the world's end would be marked by a series of catastrophes and the appearance of the Messiah. This belief is reflected in the Book of Enoch, which describes the end of the world as a time of judgment and the arrival of the Messiah. This text, which dates back to the 2nd century BCE, was widely read and respected in early Judaism and was considered by some to be part of the biblical canon. Role of angels. However, its exclusion from the canon of the Bible is mainly due to its unconventional views on angels and their role in the world. In contrast to traditional Jewish and Christian beliefs, which viewed angels as purely spiritual beings, the Book of Enoch portrayed them as having taken on physical form and having relationships with humans. The early church saw this idea as heretical, which held that angels were purely spiritual and had no physical form. The idea of angels having a physical form and relationships with humans challenged the traditional views of the early church and contributed to the exclusion of the Book of Enoch from the canon of the Bible. The angels were created by God to serve as his messengers and servants. However, some angels fell from grace and became corrupted by their power and pride. These fallen angels took on human form and entered into relationships with humans, teaching them secrets and knowledge that were meant to be kept hidden. This was seen as a corruption of the natural order and a threat to the world's stability. The Book of Enoch also provides a unique perspective on the nature of evil and sin. In this text, evil is seen as a result of the actions of the fallen angels, who used their power and knowledge to lead humans astray. The end result of their corruption was the creation of the Nephilim, a race of half-human, half-angelic beings who were seen as a threat to the world's stability. The text reflects the time's social, political, and religious concerns, providing valuable insight into the historical context of the era. Historical context. The most significant event of this period was the Babylonian exile, during which the Jews were forcibly removed from their homeland and taken to Babylon. This event had a profound impact on Jewish religion and culture, and is reflected in the Book of Enoch, which describes the fallen angels as having taught humans the secrets of heaven, leading to their corruption and the creation of the Nephilim. Another important historical context of the Book of Enoch is the rise of Hellenistic culture and its impact on Jewish society. The Greeks had conquered much of the ancient world, and their influence can be seen in the Book of Enoch, which was written in Greek and reflects Greek cosmology and philosophy. At the same time, the Jews were also experiencing religious and political tensions as they struggled to maintain their traditions and beliefs in the face of growing Hellenistic influence. The Dead Sea Scrolls, founded in the 1940s, include fragments of the Book of Enoch and provide evidence of its widespread use and power among the Qumran community. Despite its exclusion from the canon of the Bible, the Book of Enoch continues to be studied and revered by some sects of Christianity and Judaism, and remains an essential source of knowledge and understanding about the beliefs and practices of the ancient world. Its historical context provides valuable insight into the era's social, political, and religious tensions and helps us understand the challenges and concerns faced by the Jews during this time of change and upheaval. Lost and rediscovered. You must be curious that if a book was written thousands of years ago, then how come it's still here? Well, we'll answer this. Despite being written over 2,000 years ago, the Book of Enoch has only recently been rediscovered, and its journey to the present day is a story of loss, preservation, and discovery. The text of the Book of Enoch was originally written in Hebrew and Aramaic, but it was later translated into Greek, Coptic, and Ethiopian. The text was widely known and quoted by early Christian writers, including Tertullian, Hippolytus, and Justin Martyr, for many centuries. However, despite its widespread popularity and use, the text was eventually lost to the Western world and remained forgotten for hundreds of years. In 1773, James Bruce, a Scottish explorer and antiquarian, brought 3 copies of the Book of Enoch back from Ethiopia, where it had been preserved for centuries by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. This was the first time the text had been seen in the Western world for over 1,000 years, and its rediscovery sparked a renewed interest in the text and its teachings. In the following centuries, scholars and religious enthusiasts continued to study and translate the Book of Enoch, and it became an essential source of knowledge and understanding about early Christian beliefs and practices. Despite this renewed interest, the text remained largely unknown to the general public and was largely overlooked by the academic community. The modern revival of interest in the Book of Enoch can be traced back to the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 1940s. The Dead Sea Scrolls, which included fragments of the Book of Enoch, provided evidence of its widespread use and influence among Jewish sects in the Second Temple period. This discovery sparked a renewed interest in the text and led to its widespread dissemination and popularity in the latter half of the 20th century. If you want to unravel more secrets from the Book of Enoch, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We would also love to hear which parts of the book left the biggest impact on you. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.